We started with 12, and now we're down to 2. The Ohio State, the University of Notre Dame. January 20th, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Only one can be named champion. This is Bear Down the Gridiron, live on this Wednesday, and it starts right now.
I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. Okay. So if they ask you how I feel, what's up? I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, what's up? I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel, what's up? I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel,
Well, what's up, good people? How y'all doing on this Wednesday? And yes, your boy is back. Couldn't talk last week, so that's why I couldn't be on the show last week. But hey, I'm back, and we have one game left in the college football season that will take place January 20th to crown a national champion between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And it's good to be back, and I am not alone on this particular day, as the man who took over the show last week for me, he is the morning shift with Coach Johnson. He is the EP of all EPs. He is Coach Johnson.
Well, I don't feel amazing.
I know you don't. Oh, I know you
sorry.
do.
I'm sorry. Woosah. Good afternoon, Playmaker. Thank you for having me host in place of you last week. It was fun. And it sucked that what I prognosticated came true.
Well, we're gonna talk about it.
I know we are.
As painful as that may be for one Coach Johnson.
What's up, Wise?
We do what we have to do. Wise Helper, how you doing? And yes, you will listen to this episode on the Real Wise Radio on this Saturday.
Real Wise in the house.
Even though the game is Monday.
That's right.
All right. That's it, Cole. The last game.
You know, all biases aside, you're going to hear, and we have heard a lot of people bicker about the college playoff, that it actually absolutely sucked. And I'm of the opposite. This actually was really good. I hope we have this continue, and I hope they don't tweak a thing. I really hope they don't tweak a single solitary thing.
No. They got some things to tweak. Especially that bye.
No. They don't have to tweak a thing. Mm-mm. They don't have to tweak a thing. Let it be the way it is.
No, they need to get rid of that bye.
No. Well, the only way they'll get rid of that bye is if they make this a 16-team tournament. I don't think they're ready to do that yet.
They have to, because Georgia, Boise State, Oregon, and Arizona State pretty much had a month off.
Well, that's cool. They got a chance to rest. They got a chance to make sure everything was fine, and all four of them, as Jim Ross would say, they came up short of the pay window.
They all went home.
Again, they came up short of the pay window.
That's my problem. Like, once conference championship is over, you need to figure out a way to get the playoffs started right then and there, because they had almost a whole month off.
Well, no, let's not break with tradition. I mean, that's how they did it all the way to now. I mean, we didn't even have the semifinals. for a month. Championship weekend. Then you had the big 6 bowls, and the other and 2 of the 6 was going to be the ones where the big 2 games are going to be played. So they ain't gonna break with tradition. Don't change a thing unless you gonna put 4 more teams in the playoff. And I know you.
Oh, that's already happening.
And I know you stank hoes ain't gonna do it anytime soon.
Oh no, they're gonna do it very soon. Trust me. That's already in the process. We just don't know what year. If I had to guess, probably 2026, knowing them.
You stank hoes should have done it this year, but you didn't want to do it. And I mean it with all of my balls. Stank hoes. That's what the NCAA committee is in Indianapolis. Y'all nothing but stank hoes. Stank hoes and stank heifers.
You do notice I've never stopped you from talking about the NCAA not one time.
Oh, I know. Because I know why. Because you agree with every single syllable that I'm saying. Otherwise, you would stop.
Absolutely. I ain't stopping you no time soon either.
That's what I'm saying. You agree with everything I'm saying because I mean it's just common sense. All right. Why would you actually make it from 4 to 12? I'm like, come on now. You inviting problems.
You went from 4, you just gonna skip 8 and go straight to 12.
Right. Yeah. 8 would probably be a better way to solve things and an even way to solve things. 12? You're inviting problems.
Yeah,
and the thing is to me, I think the NCAA wants to invite problems. That's why I laugh at them steakhouse dummies. They want this. They want the controversy. They want the talk. They want the chatter. That's why I think they're going to delay actually putting in the other 4 teams in. I would love for it to be for 2025 or 2026. I wouldn't be surprised if them steakhouse don't do it for another 10 years.
No, they ain't gonna wait that long.
No, you better not trust them. Steakhouse.
They greedy pockets won't allow them to wait that long.
Well, all I know,
because they're gonna look at this, but like, you know what? Yeah, I probably had too much long of a break. That's why all y'all looked ugly and looked terrible for Arizona State because they came back and made it a game.
No. It wasn't because they came back. It was because they played Texas. Another group of steakhouse. I'm sorry, my bad.
Anyway, let's get started with the show here, and let's go to 2-minute drill. And we're gonna kick this off like this. Mario Cristobal talks Carson Beck, defends Cam Ward. He doesn't have a timetable for Carson Beck to begin throwing and being the Miami's quarterback after the surgery that Beck had.
I'm sorry.
And he defended Cam Ward playing only a half in Miami's bowl game loss to Iowa State. Here's the interesting part.
Okay.
How many times, Coach Johnson, have we heard people complain about players opting out?
Oh, that's a common complaint.
People were complaining
that's as common as breathing. I mean, geez.
Now people are complaining about Cam Ward playing a half in Miami loss.
Right.
Do you want him to play or do you don't want him to play? Which one you want? The man played a half. He played a half. He didn't get hurt. All right, let's get you out of there so you can get ready for everything you need to do to get to the NFL.
Combine or pro day, yeah.
So what do we want as a society when it comes to these college football athletes in these bowl games?
Well, we want them to. This goes back to me. This goes back to when Chris McCaffrey decided to say, "F you Rose Bowl, I got to prepare for my pro debut," and didn't even play the game. it's as if we want these athletes to be like the pros only at 20, 21, and 22 years of age. And that's an unfair that's an unfair thing to place on them. So look, you got these athletes, you have them going to college, and I don't know if you understand this, people, but when you go to college there and you actually do go to school, you actually do go to class, some of them don't. Cam Newton, I'm sorry. But I mean, but if you just go to class, you actually learn concepts in life. You actually learn things that make your brain think a little bit differently. And so you have these athletes, they actually are what the NCAA tried to push, which is their student athletes, emphasis on student before athlete. Stop lying, NCAA. You push that on them. It's to actually say that they're actually learning something. So you got these athletes learning, you know what, I'm a commodity and I might need to save my body for the pros. And I need to be at my best if I'm doing the combine in Indy or if I'm doing the pro day here at school, and then get ready for the draft. It's amazing that the more you know, the more you do things that are to your benefit. And unfortunately, it's to the detriment of those who root for their school or those who affiliate themselves with the school. But you can't fault these young men because they're understanding that they are a commodity. I mean, heck, now they're millions of dollars richer because they get NIL deals too. So they now know they are commodities and they're going to be bigger commodities when they get to the Shield. So you can't fault them for protecting themselves. And yes, I agree with Wise, since he wants Cam Ward on his Giants. Leave the boy alone.
And then he says, I need him healthy for my Giants.
As I said, he's capping. He's caping for him so he can actually be on his beloved Giants. But besides that, I do agree with Wise. Leave the young man alone. He's trying to better his life. Leave him alone.
Now, what y'all would say if he wouldn't have played at all?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, people actually be dumb enough to say, well, his stock is going to drop in the draft.
The man gave you
say stupid crap like that.
Half.
The man, no, forget the half of the bowl game. The man gave you a compelling Heisman Trophy-esque season. Of course, he didn't win it, but he still gave you a Heisman Trophy-esque season.
That is true.
So what if you only played a half of a bowl? Big deal, big whoop. You got good healthy year of 2024 tape of what this guy can do.
Do y'all complain when NFL players only play a quarter or a half during preseason?
No, not preseason. Do you complain when some might, but most don't. Do you complain when your team has whatever seed wrapped up, whether it's home field, number 2 seed, number 3 seed, number 4 seed, or a playoff seed where they can't evolve or get up or go down? Do you complain if they sit their starters? I did not hear one Chief fan gripe about the fact that their team got whooped 38-0 by the Broncos because they played second and third stringless.
Not to mention they having a whole 3 weeks off. Think about that. And nobody in the Chiefs' kingdom is complaining. 3 weeks.
Not one Chief fan complained about that, and neither should they.
Oh, I'm a Rams fan. Guess what? I didn't care we didn't play against Seattle. I didn't care. It was already in the playoffs.
Look at the results for Monday.
We was already in the playoffs. What we need to do? Let Stafford heal up, take a break, come back, and let's get ready for our playoff game.
So I find it ridiculous that you get and look, your Rams did a bang up job in the desert Monday, but this just goes to show how stupid it is for college fan, for NCAA football fan, to gripe about this crap of this young man is actually blowing his opportunity. It should be, he's a football player. He should go out on his shield. No, he shouldn't. He should protect himself.
The goal is to play in the NFL. You don't believe me? Because actually, one of the teams is in the national championship game will forever be remembered for this. There's a guy, I think it was Jalen Smith. Does that name ring a bell? Played for Notre Dame. Was not in the national championship game. I forgot what bowl game there was. I think there was in a New Year's Six Bowl, but it went in the national championship game. Blew his knee out. Did you hear about him?
Bye NFL.
Did you hear about him in the NFL?
Nope. And you weren't going to. And that's
unfortunate. And guess what? He played for the most iconic franchise in the NFL.
It just goes to show you don't have to go all the way in, or language that you, Wise, and I understand. You don't have to go ham in college just because you got to rep the program and it's dedication to the program 100%. I bleed whatever the color of the school is. No.
Oh, and Wise had
no, and that's another good example. Yeah, 22 years ago, Willis McGahee blows his knee out in the national championship game. Yeah, and all signs pointed to him being a high, maybe even a top 5 draft pick because he was doing big things at the U that year. Yeah. Another example, Nick Chubb, and he didn't even blow his knee out in the bowl game. He blew his knee out in the middle of the season. Now, I'm thankful he got drafted, and unfortunately, he blew out his other knee when he got to the pros. But these college guys are not bulletproof.
Matter of fact, Todd Gurley had a torn ACL his senior season.
And you have these people think that these college players are bulletproof.
So
it's sad and it's sickening. It's ridiculous.
So yes, I had no problem with Cam Ward playing the half. He shooted up. He went on the field with his brothers one last time.
I'm good with that too. And I'm not a U fan. I'm good
guess
with
what?
that.
Mark Kirkball said, "You played a half. You didn't get hurt. Let's get you ready for the NFL."
Good job. Good job. And I'm glad the coaching staff is helping him to do that.
See, he was like, just give me a half. That's all I need. Just give me a half.
I'm trying my best. I'm trying to be on my best.
Well, you ain't gonna be your best behavior on this one. You ain't gonna be your best behavior on this one. I'm sorry.
I'm trying my best to be on my best behavior. Oh my God.
Jerry Jones had a conversation with Prime Time.
Oh,
about the coaching job for the Dallas Cowboys.
Gerald.
Colorado, should Boulder, Colorado be worried?
Should Boulder, Colorado be worried? Yes. And I love Boulder. And from all signs, so did Dion, and I think he loved it until he understood, oh, wait a minute. Charlotte and Shador ain't going to be here. The love is not quite as grand. That thin air is not quite as nice. That wonderful scenery is not quite so good looking. And he has an affinity for Dallas. He has an affinity for the Cowboys, and it's an affinity for Gerald for whatever reason.
Dion.
Yes, they should be worried.
Dion, you should stay in Colorado. You want to be you want to be known as a premier coach in college football? You do it without your sons on the roster. Let's see what you can do when you don't have your sons on the roster. Can you rebuild your team after a great season that you just had? You only been there for 2 years. 2 years is enough? I don't think so. Because guess what? You go to Dallas, and the Cowboys are still what the Cowboys been for the past, I don't know what, 20 plus years.
20, 30 years. They have not been to an NFC championship game since January of 1996. The next time they're available to go there will be January of 2026. So they have not been to the, forget Super Bowl, they haven't been to the NFC championship game in 30 years. And that is not going to change anytime soon because that team is still not
Remember
elite.
what you said.
Still.
You don't know if you can motivate grown men because they get paid, they get checks, and that's all they care about.
Well, here's the thing. So, yeah, grown men get checks, but it looks like these young men are getting checks too. So, the only difference is now is the age. Instead of the late teens to early 20s, now you're dealing with probably mostly mid 20s, upper 20s, and early 30s. But all of them now getting checks. I mean, especially since he's coaching Colorado.
Why? Because it's Dion, and he's a college coach. And all of a sudden, Jerry Jones, who that's for another show that's on Mondays at 11 a.m.
Gerald. Well, I think I can speak for Wise when I say this. F Jerry, F the Dallas Cowboys, F Dallas Cowboys fan. And if Dion actually goes to the Cowboys, F Deion Sanders too. Am I off base, Mr. Otero?
Not they going to trade that for the number one pick. New England ain't going for that. New England ain't going for that. Come on, man. We talking about a New England pick.
No. Don't insult me. No. The number one overall draft pick is going to that shrew, Amy Adams Strunk, the owner of the most horrid franchise in all of the NFL, the Tennessee Titans. Yes.
Well, they
those jokers got the number one overall.
Well, they did trade AJ Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles like some idiots.
Oh, what? But wait a minute. You know what, Wise? I want to see that pick happen. Yes. Trade Dak to the Titans for the number one overall. I want to see that because Dak is going to get his butt busted. Oh, it'll be glorious. Oh, he'll be trashed up as a Titan.
All right. So, Boulder, Colorado, y'all might be on pins and needles until Jerry Jones figure out what he want to do. Ain't even Dion. It's actually Jerry Jones. That's the crazy part.
Screw the Foilers. But I agree with you, though. I think Coach Prime Time, Dion. I think Dion needs to stay in Boulder. I think he needs to be at Colorado. I think he has a good thing there. The school loves him. The administration loves him there. And I think he can have a good thing. And I think it will do him better. It will do him justice if he can actually show that he can coach a good team without any of his sons on the team. And I'm not saying he showed bias towards Shiloh or Shadeur, but we all know.
Matter of fact, you got the number one high school quarterback coming to your program. That's recruiting. You have the top quarterback in the transport portal coming to your program. And no, Carson Beck is not the top quarterback in the transport portal. Go look up Liberty's quarterback. For those of you who want to know.
Malik Willis?
No. That man said Malik Willis.
It just felt good to say that name there.
You are so disrespectful. You are so disrespectful. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Oh, that felt good.
Speaking of something Cole brought up earlier.
And thank you, Wise. I'm rooting for that now. I want Gerald to trade Dak to the Titans because I want the rest of Dak's career to be messed up, and I want the rest of Gerald's ownership to be messed up. That'd be beautiful. I'm sorry, sir.
Drew, get your boy.
I get you, boy.
Yeah, I had to throw that one in there. SBS coaches, they are supporting a single and shorter transport put to the window. Now y'all want to speak up. Where me and Cole been speaking up for a whole year about this.
Took them long enough.
They want a shorter transport portal because of what happened once conference championship ended.
I mean, just and when it happens, make it make sense. Why would you want to do this in between conference championship season and bowl season? Why?
That transport portal was stupid fool.
Why? That makes no sense at all. I mean,
Well,
again, what did I say earlier in this program? NCAA, they love to have the conversation because they want to invite problems. And this is another problem invitation that they have made. And extended.
Sir, I did a certain thing that that requires to gather more information, which is called research on why the transport portal is the way that it is. And to be honest with you,
okay, all right. So how did the NCAA mess this up?
They really didn't. Well, depends on how you look at it. Depends on how you look at it. But I would say this: if you're going to transfer to a new school, you got to transfer by a certain time because of the academic scheduling.
Yeah, that should be before, I don't know, middle of August.
But you have to know.
Why would you want to do this in the middle of a school year?
Because being the most recent one that went to college. So your fall semester ends before.
It's before Christmas.
No, actually, it ends
like
before.
A week or two before.
It actually ends before. I think 2 weeks before Christmas.
Well, I'm being kind, but yeah, people normally take finals and at latest it's like 2 weeks before Christmas.
And then after that, you have to get your classes signed up, and then right after the New Year or the week after New Year's hit, which means bowl season is still going on.
Right.
So they have to do all that. So trying to do a transfer portal after that period doesn't work.
That's why they shouldn't do a transfer portal from the fall to the spring semester. They should do it when you have all the time necessary to do so. That would be, in my estimation, between May and August, where you won't have this issue. And I bet you'll have less people wanting to actually use this transfer portal as the excuse of, well, I ain't getting time on this team, so let me go to another place.
Which is a big problem.
They will think long and hard about making that decision.
We went to the era of they don't want to earn it.
Right.
What happened to earning it? It feels so much better when
that's
you
what
earn
the transfer.
Because you can look at them and say,
so
y'all can't take this from me.
Right. So that's why I would say the transfer portal window should be between May and August, and you only have one to do your whole college career. One.
Another way they can slow down, not stop, but slow down this stuff. Why don't you bring back a certain rule that y'all got rid of? Because usually when you transfer, you have to wait a whole year to play.
Yeah, you had the red shirt. Yeah, you had the red shirt. Yeah.
I bet you bring that rule back. It'll slow down. It won't stop, but it'll slow down.
Oh, well, before this transfer portal window became a thing, that type of stuff almost came to a complete halt. You heard guys who did transfer, obviously, and they were like, "Bump it. This place is so bad. I'll take the red shirt. I'll take the red shirt year wherever I go." That's why I believe that's what, and I agree. I love that. They should bring that back. Make the transport portal window between because graduate commencement ceremonies are all throughout May. So I would say Memorial Day till about early August. I mean, that gives you 2 full months to do it. And you redshirt when you do make that move, and you only do it one time in your career.
See, there's ways to
Perfect.
put it into. There's ways to put a. I don't want to say in. What's the word I'm looking for?
There's a way for it to make sense.
There's a way to control this chaos.
Again, that's a way to make it make sense, because this crap now makes no sense at all.
Right after championships weekend was done, this person, that person, I'm like, good gracious.
It's worse than
It was so bad that one of the teams that actually made a bowl game, and it was one of the games I actually wanted to watch, Marshall, their whole team transferred.
I mean, it's become worse than trading deadlines in all the sports combined.
And I wanted to watch Marshall go against Army. There was two conference champions going at each other. I wanted to see that.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate when you got to see the janitor, the ball boy, the grounds crew to actually suit up and play.
So, right. Speaking of interesting things, Garner Gundy is joining his father on a coaching staff.
Does it come complete with the mullet?
No comment.
No.
And those of you who trying to figure out who it is Garner Gundy is the son of Mike Gundy. And
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Well, you want to man this year, you ain't winning out one Big 12. You ain't winning out one Big 12 game.
Oh, wow. And you say that I'm incorrigible.
You threw it up there.
But I mean, that was a rant he did about 15 years ago. I can't help it.
I knew what you was doing.
I know you knew what I was doing, but I mean, I can't help it. I was just trying to, for people who didn't know who Mike Gundy was.
And he was throwing me an alley because he know how I feel about him right now.
Mm-hmm. And that was a beautiful slam, I might add.
Garner Gundy played 3 seasons at Oklahoma State as a backup.
Oh, you did play for Daddy.
He did.
Okay.
He played in 9 games. He only threw for 449 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also went for 120 yards and a score. He did play his final year at a Division II program, but he threw for over 2,700 yards, 23 touchdowns. He ran for almost 300 yards with 5 scores.
Oh, so he still played for Oklahoma State?
No, he done.
No, you said it was Division II. I said he still played for Oklahoma State. There you go. I was wondering if he was going to catch it.
So yeah, son is joining father on the coaching staff. He ain't even gonna try the NFL.
Smart man. He knows his limitations.
And finally, Coach Saban, Coach Myers, Michael Strahan, and Michael Vick. We all be going into the College Football Hall of Fame as class of 2025.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm proud of Nick. Mike, I'm definitely proud of you, my brother, and congratulations on your recent appointment as now the head coach at Norfolk State. I hope you do a bang up job there, my man. Urban, I hope you don't have any Ohio State co-eds on your lap anymore. And I wonder if Michael Strahan is still not upsetting the right, because when the NFL on Fox team was on the was on a naval ship in San Diego, when the national anthem was played, Strahan didn't have his hand on his heart, and you had many who said, "Fire him! That man is unpatriotic." Shut up.
Coming from a guy who was part of the military, might add you.
Yeah. he was standing. You were complaining about a brother kneeling 9 years ago, but you're gonna go about a guy who stood and was respectful, but he didn't have his hand on his heart. Get out of here!
If this was
calling for this man's job, shut up.
An old show that I had, he opened a whole box of Pandora for me right there. But this is not that show. Ooh. If I had my old show, oh boy, that by itself is a whole show. Matter of fact, Wise, that might be a topic for you and Cole to get into.
I was thinking about actually introducing that the next time we do record for Mentality, because I find that ridiculous. I want to hear Wise's take, and I pretty much think it's going to be similar to mine. It just will not be as
PG
as I would do it. Right.
I got you. So yes, congratulations to Nick Saban, who's killing it with College Game Day, by the way.
Oh my gosh, I think he has found his new lane. If he had issues about what he was going to do post Alabama, and if he felt like his mentor and Bill Belichick, and wanted to actually go on the sideline again to coach because that it just wasn't there in media, he found his lane in College Game Day.
Urban Meyer's done coaching. I hope y'all know that. He's not coming back coaching.
Is he done trying to plow co-eds in Columbus? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud.
You did mean to say it out loud, and I'm not going to divulge in that. This guy.
I mean, judge it by someone on this show, not me. You could have your old job back because they might fire Ryan Day.
Unfortunately, I have to dive into that when I preview the national championship. Unfortunately, there's some teams that if I was on a different show, there'd be some teams that I should cuss out right about now. One of which is part of my conference. The other one is near and dear to me.
Well, I guess it's not Tennessee. All right.
Well, two in my conference.
Well, because I know Tennessee's not near and dear to your heart, considering you're a Florida
I said
fan.
One is part of my conference. I should have said two is part of my conference.
And one of them, I'm gonna light them up.
Yeah, I know. But hey, that's it for the 2-minute drill. We finna take a break because what's coming up next is finna be really, really fun for one of us. So don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Cowboys Talk.
The Dallas Cowboys got exactly what they deserved. Let me say that one more time, because you know it's true. The Dallas Cowboys got exactly what they deserved.
Dak Prescott is overrated and he shouldn't be paid, okay? And the same thing with Pollard. I mean, Pollard breaking the tackles at that 57-yard touchdown run. I mean, we needed that big time.
33 points in the fourth quarter. Let me say that again. 33 points in the fourth quarter. And that's off of 4 turnovers committed by the Colts. See, at one point, and the fact that at the end of the third quarter, it was 21-19, and the final score was 54-19. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, that is completely unexpected.
Cowboys Talk is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Sports fans are gearing up, whether it be for the madness of March, whether it be for the Super Bowl, or even a little thing called wrestling, name it. You can get all that at Fanatics, where they have a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, the NCAA, and the WWE. So go on and show that pride, that passion, that dedication fan that you are by whipping your team, your league, all your favorite players. Fanatics, official license, everything.
This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central.
All right, welcome back to Bearing Down the Gridiron here on this Wednesday, January 15, 2025.
Happy MLK birthday.
Shout out to Blue Wolverines checking in. Can we send y'all to Atlanta? Because I got a feeling my worst nightmare about to come true.
Worst nightmare about to what, the 49ers go back in the playoffs? What, LeBron James is a Magic?
Damn, we ain't talking about no goddamn 49ers. Ladies and gentlemen,
you say worst nightmares come to true. I was just trying to match the narrative. That's all I was doing.
We are down to one game left. We had to get to one game left because we had semifinals game last week, and we begin down in a good old. Yeah, we'll come back to that. That's a preview. That's a little preview. We'll come back to that. But let's head down to.
So you
let's go down to Miami, Florida for the Orange Bowl. The sixth seed at Penn State Lazy Lions, led by James Franklin.
The better.
Going against the 7th seed, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, led by Marcus Freeman. History will be made because there'll be a black coach in the national championship game, which is kind of funny that every time we turn around, there's black history being made all of a sudden. It took about 200 years to get here.
Yeah, it took a minute. It took a good long minute.
And it was the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 27-24, the Nittany Lions. Very slow start to the game. Very slow start to the game. Was it a filling out process or just defenses was hype and making plays? Depends on how you look at the game. And then in the fourth quarter, we started to see some plays being made, as you can see in the fourth quarter, 17 for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to 14 for Penn State as they got the dub. As you can see, total yards in favor of the Fighting Irish, turnovers in favor of the Nittany Lions.
That's right.
You can say Penn State had the time of possession, but to me, if I see that, that's even to me because
on this balance. It's balanced. I mean, 30. It's real to me. It's 30-30. Oh, it's. I mean, the Nittany Lions. They had the time of possession won by 8 seconds. Whoop, big whoop.
You know how these people are when it comes to analytics.
Yeah.
Ryan Leonard, 15 for 23, 223 through the air, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
Wow, yeah, she had a pretty good game for him.
Drew Allett, 12 for 23, 135, 1 interception. I would get to him in a minute. I didn't put it in the slide, but I would get to him in a minute.
Homie had a disappearing act until late in the game.
Jeremiah Love, 11 carries, 46 yards and a touchdown. He could not run the football on Penn State.
Well, he was coming back off of injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that had a little bit to do with it, I think. And the other aspect is, the Penn State defense, they were trying to force Leonard to throw.
Singletary for the Nittany Lions, 15 carries, 84 yards, 3. He had 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots for the Nittany Lions.
Speaking of Penn State, their star player T.J. Warren, 6 catches, 75 yards.
I thought he was about to be out for a minute because I saw him go to the tent. I'm like, oh Lord, that's a big weapon. They need him. And he came back out, I think, 2 plays. He came back out on the field 2 plays later. I was like, good.
Great house for the Fighting Irish, 7 catches, 105 yards, and the lone touchdown thrown by Ryan Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw I'm going to get a Drew Allett. This one I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this down for a minute. You went the whole entire game without completing a pass to a wide receiver.
That's one thing.
How is that even possible? When we come back to the statistics, your tight end only caught 6 passes, which is half the passes. Which is half of the completion that you had.
Pass completions. Mm-hmm.
So where did the other 6 go to? The running backs?
Or other tight ends?
Not one to a receiver? Who is the offensive coordinator for the Penn State Nittany Lions?
Would it be Franklin?
And if it is, oh my gosh. James Franklin better not be calling the offense.
I was going to say Bill O'Brien, but I think he's in Boston College. That's the head coach there.
We can't get no place for a receiver to get the ball. And I'm not a Penn State Nittany Lion fan.
No, you're just a football makes sense fan.
We couldn't get nothing to a receiver. Nothing. Not a screen pass or nothing.
Well, I think when he did try to force the issue, though, when he was going to have the big moment, because it was 24 apiece, 1 minute to go, they had the ball. All they had to do was go down maybe 45, 50 yards to get the field goal range. And the first pass he throws was an INT.
Oh, the one he threw behind the receiver.
There you go. And he tried to target a receiver there. And so when he targeted the receiver, he threw behind him. And it fell into the waiting arms of a Fighting Irish corner. Set them in prime field position where all basically the Fighting Irish had to do was just not turn the ball over, kick a field goal, we're going home, South Bend partying, we're going to the national championship, and we robbed the Nittany Lions of actually going there because they decided to do something stupid and throw a pick in their own side of the field with under a minute to go in the game.
You threw the ball 23 times.
Mm-hmm.
11 incompletions.
It's that 23rd. It's that 23rd time that I lock.
I know that's what you do. You miss 11. You miss 11 throws. Half of your completion went to your tight end. None completions to the receiver.
The last one he completed to a Golden Domer. Beautiful pass. It was a beautiful pass. You would have thought You would have thought the Golden Dome was the intended receiver. It was beautifully thrown.
Just when James Franklin finally did some things, he won his home playoff game by destroying SMU, and then
beautiful.
And then he took on the Boise State with the runner up to the Heisman Trophy, winning one of the best backs in the league, and you, for all intents and purposes, shut him down. And it's like, okay, James Franklin, he getting somewhere. And then it's not the fact that you lost. I mean, Notre Dame's a good team.
And that was the right game plan, too. Force Leonard to beat you. That was the right game plan.
But you couldn't help your quarterback complete a pass to one receiver. One. What is this?
Well, you remember when Penn State had their home game against Ohio State, and of course this is back in November.
No.
And they were first and goal inside Ohio State's 5, and they had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 cracks at the end zone, and they came away with nothing.
And then what made it even worse, Ohio State ran out the rest of the 8 minutes that was on the clock. We ain't talking 5. We ain't talking 4. They had 8+ minutes on the clock, and they ran the whole thing out.
Yeah, and he literally means ran because they did not throw a pass the rest of the game.
Well, they ran the rest of the clock out. Penn State didn't even see the ball again. It's the fact that they had 4 cracks in the end zone, they didn't get it. Yes, that's a problem, but it's more of a problem because Brian Day said, "Y'all not getting the ball back. I don't care how much time on that clock. No, you ain't getting the ball back."
No, that's on Ryan Day. That's on Ryan Day, which I agree. I think that was smart of him. I bring that small part up to actually say that I knew that Penn State's offense was going to be problematic for them at some point in these playoffs. They got a free pass with SMU because, I mean, they turned them over early, and by the time the game settled down, they had a double-digit lead. Similar with Boise State. I mean, they raced out to a double-digit lead. The game settled down, and then you had Boise State playing catch-up. So that offense wasn't tested. But when that offense gets tested, they show that they cannot handle the pressure. To a degree, even though, yes, they scored 37 points, that you could have said the same thing about the Big Ten championship against Oregon. They came out there, they came up short. And here's another game where this was nip and tuck, and they came up short again. And what made it even worse, your QB throws an interception on your side of the field to doom your advancement. Otherwise, if he were to have kept the ball, not turned the ball over, the worst you could do was to go in overtime. More than likely, you would have kicked the field goal to have you advance to probably get vengeance on Ohio State.
Would have had an all Big Ten national championship. And the entire SEC con would have been thrown up.
Mm-hmm. And all Big Ten fan would be like, see? That's how we told you SEC sucks. Big Ten, that's where the big boys play. Shut up.
But Notre Dame won. And they're in the championship game. Then we get to the Cotton Bowl that was played on Friday, January 10th, down at Gerard's World. Ohio State Buckeyes, the 8th seed, going against the 5th seed, the Texas Longhorns. Let's see how this goes, because we have a $20 million roster over in Ohio State going against a team that was said to be built for the Southeastern Conference. But they made the Southeastern Conference championship game.
That's a lie.
They handled business against Clemson.
They were built for the SEC. That's a lie.
Take out the Big 12 champion in Arizona State. So let's see. Now here come the Buckeyes, the hottest team in football. Thrashing Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Thrashing number 1 then Oregon.
They thrashed them bad, too. Both teams bad.
So let's see what we got going on here. 28-14. The Longhorns take an L. The Buckeyes move on. And guess what? Ryan Day would not be getting fired.
And what did I say to you before this playoff run began?
Tennessee, y'all had one job. But the simple fact that you idiots decided to, but despite the fact that you idiots decided to show your dad bots in the cold.
Oh, they decided to show, we're oranging out the horseshoe. Sit down and be quiet.
You got your ass
42-17. Get back to Knoxville.
You got your ass handed to you. Your fans were more competitive than y'all were on the field.
Then that's the truth.
And they actually took over College Game Day. Had Pat stunned.
I mean, I saw so many pictures. Look at the stands. It's actually orange here. It's not the red of Ohio State. We taking over. This is University of Tennessee North. No, y'all got put the boot in your behinds and got shoved back south.
Don't get me started with Oregon.
34-0 before they even decided to wake up in the Orange Bowl. I mean, the Rose
Are we
Bowl.
still playing? Are they still playing for clicks, Dan Lenny?
I think they are. You said the other team was playing for clicks. You're playing for wins. Not that first half of the Rose Bowl.
Now, mind you,
I don't know if y'all playing for clicks or y'all playing for being cheerleaders, because you all just stood there and you all acted like tackling dummies. Or no, you acted like cement with Smith running up and down the field on your behind.
Now, mind you, Oregon is not far from California.
Well, it's one state north, but yeah.
Ohio State had to go from Ohio to California, a West Coast trip again, which they don't do well at. And they decided to put their foot up your ass.
California. I mean, Oregon is not near California. I mean, the University of Oregon is not near California.
My point is, they still a West Coast. You're still in the West Coast.
Yeah. Closer to Washington, California, but I digress. Yes, West Coast. They're still on Pacific time. Yes.
Got a foot put up your ass.
And thank you, Howard, for learning that you should not, with 6 seconds to go in the game, tuck the ball and run middle of the field. I'm glad you learned your lesson. With 6 seconds to go in the game, and you're down 1. Value the ball, son. 3-step drop. You don't see anything open. Toss it out of bounds. Have that field goal you to come on the field. Learn that lesson, son.
And then we get to Draw's World. Texas, you basically have a home game. You're in your home state.
I'm talking about, don't get me started.
341, 370. Pretty even to me. One team had 1 turnover, the other team had 2 turnovers. One team held the ball 3 minutes more than the other team.
Yeah. So as you can see, this really wasn't a rout.
No, it wasn't. And trust me, we're going to get to my biggest problem. Will Howard, 24 for 33, 289, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Quinn Ewers, 23 for 39, 283, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
So the quarterbacks cancel each other out.
We're going to get to the real problem with Quinn Ewers. Look, Trevion Henderson, 6 carries for 42 yards. You thought Texas defense actually did something until you look at Texas running game, 17 carries for 46 yards.
That makes me ill.
I don't see Jeremiah Smith for the receiving part on Ohio State. That's Tate.
Well, that's because in the one of the few things that Sarkisian did do right, they had 3 Longhorns bracket Smith all game long. They said this Energizer Bunny is not going to beat us in Arlington.
Blue.
That's one of the few That's one of the few bright things that Sarkisian
The
did.
other bright thing, Blue got involved in the game. He had 2 touchdowns. And both of them was actually wide open. I was like, how did he get that open?
Yeah, I was going to say, and another is, well, it looks like the wide receivers is not making any presence, at least one that's really felt. Oh, heck, might as well make a Marshall Faulk out of Mr. Blue.
They put him on a route.
And he received both touchdowns that he was through.
They had him on a wheel route, and he was open. It's like, wow.
Wide.
That actually works on Ohio State.
And when I was watching that game, I was thinking, if Texas plays this game right, they have found 2 things they could do that could help them win this game. You limit Smith on one end. You found the weapon that hurts them on yours. But then we get to, it was 1st and goal when the Longhorns are down 21-14 with about 3 minutes to go, and then you decide to
throw Sam Darnold and hold on to the freaking football.
That's the 4th down. That's the 4th down play. I'm getting to all the 4. A bonehead throw in the end zone, which I don't know why you wish you threw it. The 2nd down, you decide to use Blue, but what you do, you don't run straight at Ohio State. You try to run lateral, and guess what happened? Your dumb behinds help them pursue the guy, run him down, and you lose yards. Then 3rd down, you try to draw a pass interference call, which it was successful on that drive because you drew 2 pass interference calls to get to that spot. But the refs, they hung on to that hand to the hanky. And then we get to the 4th down play. The crap you see right there on the screen. The offensive line decided to roll the red carpet for the pass rush. Ewers decided to be Drew Bledsoe. Oh, what is Drew Bledsoe? A human statue.
I say Sam Darnold, but
no. Drew Bledsoe's worse. A human statue. Then a fumble recovery, and 95 yards later, bye-bye Texas. You're done for.
Let me crystallize it for you. Out of all the players on the Buckeyes to make the play, Jack Sawyer. Why is it so important that Jack Sawyer? Not because he's the main name on the Ohio State team. It's because guess what? When Quinn Ewers was at Ohio State, guess who his roommate was?
The guy who he had the strip sack fumble on.
Out of all the players in the world.
But that I don't fault. I fault Ewers for not having the head on the swivel and either throwing the ball away or just taking a sack.
It wasn't like Jack Sawyer got there that fast.
No, he had time. He had time to either throw the ball away or take the sack or take off and run. Or what I'm seeing these dummies called head coaches are doing, and they're doing it in NFL too, is 4th down. You're still under a score. You probably need to get motivation for your team. And what's the best way you can do it? Oh, I don't know. Take the points. You kick a field goal, you be down 4. You had, if I'm not mistaken, I think you still had all 3 of your timeouts. Your defense was doing pretty good. They couldn't really run on you. They didn't really want to run on you. They really wanted to throw on you. And you possibly could get the ball back. But no. You decided to do some BS plays, like in the first quarter when you didn't get the 4th down. You turned over to Ohio State. They scored a touchdown on your behinds. Oh, I didn't forget about that neither, playmaker. It's boneheaded crap like that pisses me off about Texas. And here I am, being a Texas fan, I've been a Texas fan, I'll probably say since technically, I would say 1985. And I can honestly tell you, there have been some embarrassing moments. I'm not going to say this is an embarrassing moment, but I'm going to say that Texas actually had the ability to beat this team because they did not blow the doors off of them like they did Tennessee by 25 and by 21 or 20, I'm sorry, on Oregon.
I mean, when your second touchdown to Blue changed the momentum of the game. All momentum went to Texas' favor.
Yeah, it was 14-14 then, but well, Ohio State still managed midway through the fourth quarter to put 6 on the board, and that's cool. You had the chance to answer, and it looked like you were going to, and you could have kicked the field goal. And that first, and that fourth and I think it was it 1 or 2, and I think it was that 4th and 1 or 2 in the first quarter. You could have punted. You did not have to go for it. And a team that basically was boat racing people, you did not have to motivate for them to actually boat race you. But that's what you get, Sarkisian. You had your team that was supposed to be a national champion. I never believed you were, but a lot of people said you were, obviously, because at some point you spent time as the number 1 ranked team in the country. You were supposed to be the number 1 ranked team in the country. You were supposed to actually be the SEC champion in your very inaugural season in the SEC. I'm not going to talk about how you screwed the pooch there. But I saw signs. You let Clemson in the game where you were blowing the doors off of them. You almost blew the game entirely. The Peach Bowl game. You almost blew the game entirely against Arizona State. And here you played from behind the whole game, and you didn't have to play from behind. And that is what was so triggering for me. I'm like, you are out coaching yourself. Ryan Day, I'll be blunt and say this out loud. Yes, I know. I'm saying this to a guy who has gotten his team to the national championship game. You can out coach Ryan Day. He is not the best coach I've ever seen. Now, he may have some brilliant moments. He didn't have many in this game. But Sarkisian, you had many, I basically crapped my pants on the sideline moments in this one. And you, sir, are the ultimate reason why the Longhorns are not playing in Atlanta for a 3rd time this year. And if they played there for the 3rd time this year, it would have meant for that golden cylinder of a national championship trophy. Congratulations, Sark. That is what an SEC team does not do. You should know you actually were on the sideline of one in Alabama, but I guess you didn't learn enough of those lessons under Saban.
You know,
this game you should have had, but this game Ohio State earned because you decided to act like you had no brain cells and you gift wrapped this game for them to bully you and to bowl you over. Congratulations, Sark. Congratulations. Do better next year.
Maybe you can get over your friend about Quentin Ewers now since he's going to the NFL.
Thank the Lord. So we'll get to see Arch Manning.
And you need to go to the NFL because you should have known that you need to throw the ball. But no.
Or tuck it and run.
You wanted to hold on to it.
Yeah, or tuck
and
it
then you
run.
get strip set for a return to the house that ends the game. I'd rather for you to get blown out in that case. At least I know the game's over with. Darn, the game's right there to be tied. You're 5 yards away. 5 yards.
Or do the more sensible thing and take the points.
That too.
As you can see, playmaker, as you can see, bearing down the grind, fam. University of Texas pisses me off royally. I love the school. I love the fact the school has burnt orange for colors, and there are only two colors of burnt orange and white. I love the fact that they're from Austin. I love the school. Been there. Love the school. Love Royal Stadium. Love the energy there. It's a beautiful school. But I just cannot stand when you have somebody who I really believe can bring them prestige, coaches down to the level of their opponent. And I'll say this, Mr. Sarkisian coached down to the level of Ryan Day. And he paid the price for
it. Speaking of which,
he paid the price for it.
After this break, we will get into that national championship game that will take place on Monday.
Notre Dame and Ohio State. Yay.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Lids. Lids is the leader and #1 destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Lids has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country. Locker Rooms by Lids.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
This Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Monday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern, 2:05 p.m. Central. Exclusively on the Sertoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
Welcome back to Bearing Down the Gridiron here on this Wednesday, now evening, as we cross the 6 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. Would that be 5 o'clock your time?
That's right.
5 o'clock in Central area.
Hmm.
And now we must go here.
I'm so
on
excited.
Monday, January 20th, 7:30.
I can't contain my excitement.
ESPN. It is the national championship live from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Where it be the Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it.
Buckeyes are 8-point favorites on this one.
Woohoo!
Is anybody surprised?
No.
The main matchup to look at: Ryan Day, Marcus Freeman. Now, for those of you who don't want to know, or those of you who don't know, going into these playoffs, Ryan Day's job was on the line. Because the Buckeye fans had enough of him losing to Michigan.
It ain't now.
But it ain't now. Why it ain't now? Because he decided to smack an SEC team in the horseshoe. He got his revenge by smacking the only team that beat him before Michigan. And then obviously you all heard us talk about what happened down in the Gerard's world.
Yeah, he beat another SEC team
last Friday. That's Ryan Day's side. Marcus Freeman, on the other hand, those of you who don't know, this wonderful gentleman here, Cole Johnson, took issue with Marcus Freeman and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish all the way back to week 2 in September.
Yes.
You want to go ahead and remind the people.
So Notre Dame, they had a wonderful clash with Texas A&M in College Station. They showed their might, they showed their power, and they beat them by double digits actually. And so Notre Dame was feeling good. The Fighting Irish was feeling great, and then they have their home debut against Northern Illinois, where they got beat 16-14 and had a field goal blocked to end the half and a field goal blocked to end the game. And I saw nothing but disciplinary miscues from both the offense and defense all game long. Obviously, this was by far the worst game they played all year. And I was pissed that Notre Dame actually got a chance to sneak up beyond number 10, because I thought they should have been forever punished for losing to Northern Illinois, a team that wasn't even ranked at home. And the highest they should have been was 10. But them Steakhouse thought different. But congratulations to Marcus Freeman. He put a foot up all their behinds. And the next time we saw them, they put up 65 against Purdue. And then they started to romp Navy, romp Army, and USC didn't even stand a chance. And then they decided to bore Indiana to play absolutely horrible. Then they advanced and they decided to have their defense shut Georgia all the way down. And then they played a really good game in Penn State and got by with a victory that could have gone Penn State's way, but well, hey, Notre Dame earned it. But I still think they should have been punished, because Northern Illinois should have kept Notre Dame being ranked higher than number 10. How you lose to them? That's right. 4 months later, I'm still steamed. How?
Still salty about that one, huh? 4 months later.
4 months later. This shit. How? How do you lose to him?
And
Yeah, that's right. I said it. It should have been ranked higher than
then
number
they
10.
both raised everybody else.
Yeah, they both raced everybody else. But yes, them steakhouse thought that they should have been high ranked higher.
Well, they've been rewarded for it. For believing.
Yeah. But all joking aside, Notre Dame proved to be a really good team, although I'm not really sold on their offensive scheme. I am sold on the fact that when Riley Leonard heads in the game, he takes care of the ball. That was the one thing he did not do against Northern Illinois. So I think he might have learned that lesson and said, I got to be the caretaker of this team, and I got to make sure I don't cough this ball up.
Now,
and he's done well and not turn the ball over.
Let's get back to Ryan Day. Because the simple fact that you saved your job, sir, does not mean you can walk into Atlanta and feel some type of way.
Oh, but he will.
And here's the funny thing. There's actually some beef going on between him and Luke Holtz. There's actually real beef here.
Oh, that's right. Because I remember when Ohio State and Notre Dame played, and Notre Dame beat Notre Dame, and he had some sort of celebration in the locker room that had Lou Holtz feel some type of way. I forgot the words that Lou used, but I think that celebration in the locker room had.
That's not how it started.
Oh Lord,
that's not how it started. That's why the fact that this is a real beef is making me very interested, because those of you who don't know, I am a faithful watcher of the Pat McAfee show. They had Ty Smith play Luke Holtz.
Oh Lord! So they did a skit.
They did a skit.
Oh, good Lord.
Ryan Day took it so serious he thought the real Luke Holtz said it. And
that's how
the beef started.
They actually thought Holtz insulted him. That dude has more roster brains than I thought. Goodness gracious!
And you know how media is. Media don't forget stuff like this. So guess what they asked him when it came to Ohio State and Notre Dame being in the national championship game. Hey, have you talked to Lou Holtz since the whole thing that happened up in South Bend? No.
So you mean to tell me
how it started
that it was a Pat McAfee show skit? This is why we have this beef.
Do you remember the post game interview after the game when Ryan Day was going off?
I do. Well, I mean, that was the most animated I think I've ever seen him. Yeah,
that was because of the skit. Because Ty Smith was talking like Lou Holtz, and he was saying how Notre Dame is more tougher than Ohio State. Question the toughness of Ohio State.
So the beef started from a Pat McAfee show skit.
Yes.
You just made my week, playmaker.
And guess what? And guess what? I just looked up and found out.
What, Lou Holtz is going to attend?
Lou Holtz will be in attendance in Atlanta, Georgia.
So I thought. Maybe they'll shake hands at midfield and win, lose, or draw.
This man is beefing with an 88-year-old man.
Whatever works.
Who actually won the championship? Who actually won a national championship with Notre Dame, by the way. We're still waiting for you to get yours.
Yep, he did. Yeah.
If this beef comes if this beast cost Ohio State the national championship game, because it's the
I can't believe.
let's just be honest.
I can't.
When you look at Ohio State's roster against Notre Dame's roster, there's no comparison.
Doggone beef started from a Pat McAfee show skit. Lord have mercy. I'm sorry.
You have the Ohio State Buckeyes with a $20 million roster. You think Notre Dame paid that much for their roster?
And a coach that has 5 cents for brains.
Man, look at these numbers. Look at Will Howard. That man is almost at 3,800 yards passing. But 33 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Riley Leonard, he ain't even sniffing 3,000 passing wise. And he only threw 19 touchdowns.
Well, he only threw eight picks. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. The last one you threw got your team out of the running. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. My bad. Well, but he only threw 8 picks. That's what I was saying earlier with Northern Illinois. I think he learned his lesson in not being so careless with the ball, and he's done well. I mean, I think he's probably the quintessential game manager in college right now.
Now, Notre Dame best part of their team is their running game with Jeremiah Love.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hands down. Hands down, that's what the power of that offense.
Ohio State has 2 running backs. They don't have one. They have 2.
Right. Yeah, I was like the running game, but yeah.
And then don't even get us talking about Jeremiah Smith versus whoever Notre Dame got. Ain't even close.
No one man in that secondary can keep up with Jeremiah Smith.
You just look at it. You can see why they're 8-point favorite. Notre Dame's roster doesn't match up with Ohio State. It just doesn't. But as one Swami used to say, aka Chris Berman, that's why they play the game.
That's why they play the game.
Because anything can get caught in a game of football. In this case, any given Monday.
Yeah, I'm about to say in this case, any given Monday.
I mean, look at this. 36 points a game for Ohio State. Notre Dame scores 37. You wouldn't think that going into this game.
Well, Notre Dame, no. Ohio State as of late, yeah.
But Notre Dame is balanced. 202 yards of passing, 210 on the ground. Ohio State, they are known for passing. 271 to 163 running.
Yeah, so you have an offense that's balanced, but it's run-based. And you have another who's explosive, although they can run if they decide to.
Defense. Look at the defense. Ohio State gives up 12. Notre Dame gives up 14.
Yeah. Giving up actually the same amount of yards in the passing game. Yeah, I mean, these are two really strong defenses. And we've seen their defenses step up, both of them step up in the playoffs for sure. And definitely all throughout the regular season, but definitely the playoffs, we've seen the defenses of both teams rise to the occasion.
So if you're looking at the rosters, let's say Ohio State should blow them out the water.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the statistics, oh, wait a minute here. Hold on. Notre Dame can probably pull up a fight.
It's not such a lock. Right.
It's very interesting how you look at numbers when it comes to this national championship game between Ohio State and Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately for me, as a guy who were on that bandwagon of let's get rid of Ryan Day,
mm-hmm.
for my enjoyment, by the way, The only reason why.
Not for your enjoyment.
I want Ohio State to suffer. It pleases me to see the Ohio State Buckeyes suffer.
It does not please me to know that Ryan Day has brocks for brains.
When you do your research, you're gonna realize that because I watched that show, so I know how that went.
Oh my gosh!
And I was like, "Dang, Ryan Day going off? Why is it, bruh? That was not even the real Lou host that said that."
Oh my gosh!
But he still feels salty towards Lou host. Which is really funny for me. But hey, it is what it is.
Oh my gosh!
Now, those of you who probably saying, "Well, we know the country is going for Notre Dame," actually, might be wrong because there's a great group of people that can't stand Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm about to say Notre Dame is probably the most loved and the most hated in college football.
And one of the main reasons why because they're not in the conference.
I basically look at Notre Dame as the college version of the Dallas Cowboys. You got more people that love them, and you got more people that hate them than any other. By far,
Notre Dame is the only football team, and I do mean football team as in NFL and college. They have their own TV deal,
and they've had that for 3 decades. 3 decades grown.
And you want to know why they will stay independent in football? Because of that TV deal.
Because they could tell every 17-year-old recruit to be, every home game we play is on NBC. Every home game we play. And that's not counting the road games. Some of the road games will probably be televised too on national television. But every home game guaranteed is on NBC. No other college football team can say that. Not a one.
The NFL teams can't even say that. They just hope they're on NBC.
Mm-hmm. Notre Dame, they have at least 6 NBC games on the schedule every year. At least 6. Every year. And that's been the case since 1992. Every year. Whew. That's a bad program. Hey.
You can hate it, but they got the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And remember,
and I'm waiting for it.
And remember, this team has not won a championship ever since they got that TV deal.
That's right. The last time they won it was 1990? Is that right? When they split Colorado? Wow.
I think so. But there is a group of percent of people, and I'm included in that can't stand Ohio State.
Well, there's a growing sentiment that can't stand Ohio State. But they still aren't on the level of Notre Dame. Try as they could, and they are a blue blood program. And Notre Dame, what's that statement that Mike Tomlin was known to say? The standard is the standard. Well, Notre Dame is the college standard. Not Ohio State, not Michigan, not Texas, not name any other big time program. Alabama, Georgia, none of them measure up to Notre Dame. None of them.
I bet when Mike Thomas said it, I don't think he will realize it'll be years later and people are still saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ryan Day haven't lived up to the standard of Ohio State.
Well, he hasn't
Jim Tressel brought the championship to Ohio State.
Jim Tressel from jump lived up to that standard.
Urban Myers brought the championship to Ohio State.
And forget the national championship. Tressel put a foot in Michigan almost every time they played.
Jim Harbaugh couldn't get past Urban Myers.
Right. But once he left in UCAM day,
that man got to beat you and win the national championship. But probably the worst 2 games in Ohio State's history.
On back-to-back years. Oh wow.
They beat you and you got to watch them win the national championship. But you know the state of Ohio was sick.
Oh yeah, they were. I know last January they were feeling it. They were hating life. Like the worst they did indeed is here. Our rival has won the national championship. Oh God, they're gonna be insufferable. Yeah.
And then they decided to go up to Columbus, Ohio, and beat you again.
And they weren't ranked this year. That's the messed up part.
They were
Michigan's team wasn't ranked, and it wasn't with Jim Harbaugh on the sideline either.
And they couldn't pass worth a darn.
All they could do was run.
And that was enough to beat the Ohio State.
All Michigan could do was run, and that was all they needed to do. Run and not turn the ball over. Oh, that's exactly what they did.
And that's why Ryan Day got put on that hot seat that I was enjoying so freaking much.
But I knew, I'm like, if he goes on a run and he at least gets a national championship game, people are gonna forget this L he took, this fourth straight L he took at the hands of Michigan.
Then he put his foot up Tennessee's ass. Rightfully so, because them.
I live in the state. I live 2.5 hours away from the college. I laughed when I saw the photos of Tennessee fan showing that they were trying to orange out the horseshoe, and they were talking in the original post in the social media post, proud of this fact after the fact that the Volunteers took a 42-17 thumping in Columbus.
Did you laugh harder when I put that picture on in the show?
Mm-hmm.
Dad bars everywhere.
I mean, but they would talk. It was like, oh, like this is how it must be when you feel pride for your team even after a stomping. And it's like what Wise said about the Cowboys when they took that 47-9 loss to the Lions at home. And Wise said, "And you fools are still talking crap even though you got your butts beat." Them volunteer fan was still talking trash after they got their butts whooped by Ohio State. They were proud too, man. Look at how orange this horseshoe is. You would think this is Neyland Stadium North. No, we don't, fool. We think that you went to a butt whooping.
I don't blame the fans. I don't blame the players. Y'all really thought y'all was gonna intimidate somebody with those bodies.
Oh, but did you like the fact that they went out 28-degree weather? They tried to go without shirts on. Oh, I thought that was brilliant. The cold don't phase us. Well, the cold may not phase you, but that defense did.
Yeah, the offense took it off. It's like, oh, y'all can't stop us.
Well, the offense took the cue from the defense, but yeah, because Tennessee couldn't do jack on offense. They couldn't do a thing with the ball.
And then Oregon forgot they had a Rose Bowl game.
Yeah, until the second half.
They put up football Dan Lanning's ass. 34 number before he realized, oh, we need to score.
Mm-hmm.
They already scored like 5 times already.
That's what made it even funnier. I'm like, you got boat raced that badly.
That quickly.
And you didn't wake up until before halftime. That was when your team realized, oh, we got a game to play. And it was 34-0. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they almost scored almost all the points they scored against Tennessee on you in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah. Sans a touchdown, but yeah.
It's like, really? Number 1 team all year. Number 1 team.
Mm-hmm.
The only undefeated team. And you didn't show up. And also, we already talked about what happened with Texas.
Sarkisian, you stood on the sideline across from a Rocks for Brains head coach, and you let that chump out coach you. How? That is what pisses me off the most.
And you know who the happiest man about it? Kirk Herbstreit. He don't have to hear about his friend getting fired.
Yeah, Ohio State alum. you can say friend, but the dude capes for Ohio State like a booster. As great as a football analyst as he is, and he's a great football analyst, college and pro. That dude capes for Ohio State harder than anybody I know on TV. Even harder than Joey Galloway. I mean,
that's actually saying something.
That is saying something because he capes for them pretty hard. Herbstreit capes for them harder. I'm like, dang, man. You should. Why don't you actually have a superhero suit on, where it's scarlet, and you have a silver O on it with the Buckeye in the center, and you have a gray cape because you go superhero caping for the Buckeyes, Mr. Herbstreit.
But this is where we're at. The last game of the college football season. And it looks like me and Coach Johnson most likely gonna be throwing up because
I look. I don't really hate either school, but I'm just not excited about the game at all. Not there isn't one bit of me that's like, man, I'm looking forward to it. No. I'm not really looking. I'll see what the final score is, and then in the next morning shift, I'll say, oh yeah, Ohio State beat Notre Dame, or Notre Dame beat Ohio State, and they're the 2024 national champion. That's the only reason why I'll be looking toward the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't care if they tie and they have overtime and they still in overtime in the morning. I do not care. I don't care if it's a blowout. I don't care if it's a close game. And I don't care which team wins. And yes, I realized there's a black head coach on the sideline, one of them, and that hasn't happened yet until Monday. And yes, if he wins, it'll be the first black coach to win win a national championship in college football history. Yeah, I get that. I mean, in this era, I get that. Yes, I still don't care.
For those of you who don't know, me and Coach Jones, we don't talk sports based on color.
No. Merit. That's what it matters, merit. And to Marcus Freeman's credit, he said the same thing at the Orange Bowl podium. And so I give you that, Mr. Freeman. And along with it, actually saying, it's not really about me, it's about these boys, it's about these young men. You know, this is a we thing. This is not a me thing. You know, you got to give it to these players. They fought hard too. Mad respect for Marcus Freeman for that.
So I'm gonna see. I might be more focused on Monday Night Raw than the national championship game.
No, you ain't gonna be no might be. You is. I mean, do you root for Notre Dame or Ohio State? No, nope. You ain't gonna be. You ain't interested in national championship game.
No, because my chaos didn't. I wanted chaos. My chaos didn't happen.
Yeah, other than when you do the last bearing down the ground for the year, not for 2025. I'm talking about for this college season. You just want to know the stats. Other than that, you wouldn't for a fan be interested in the game. Same as me.
But hey, we started with 12. We're gonna be down to 1 once it is over on Monday night in the ATL. Will it be the Buckeyes or will it be the Fighting Irish?
But I will say, the first year of the college football playoff, I like. Bring more of it, and don't change a thing.
Why you always gotta be in a minority?
What's wrong with it? We talking about it?
We need to get rid of the bye. I don't need teams having a month off before they actually play a meaningful game.
Man, the bye.
Get rid of the bye.
The bye. Get rid of the bye.
Yes, get rid of it.
And the bye.
Damn near every team that's in the playoffs got a bye already.
We don't need to get rid of no doggone bye.
Yeah,
That's
you
what.
do.
Look, that's what they scheduled. That's what they should get.
And they better change it.
And the only way they'll change it is if they add 4 more teams, because they ain't gonna subtract 4, so they got to add 4 more teams. Which I've said they're gonna eventually get to 16, but they're gonna get to 16 slow.
No, they're not.
And they still gonna get to 16 slow.
I'm giving them 2 years. 2 years they'll be at 16.
You almost, I almost did a Clay Davis on this show right then and there. Look, I do not trust them steakhouse at all.
That's why I'm giving them 2 years based on that reason. More teams, more money. Ain't that your problem with the NCAA right there?
No, well, yeah, that's part of my problem. The other problem is they put themselves in situations where they want to actually have this happen. That's another thing. They're greedy and sometimes they're brain dead. Because I'm like, why would you pick, like I said earlier, why would you pick 12 to be the number? Pick an even number, 8, 16, 32. I mean, pick those numbers. But 12, yeah, you're inviting issues. Just like with the BCS, where it was down just the final 2, when it was the final 4, basically is what I call it. I mean, you invite the number 3 team when it was the top 2 that you picked. Well, the number 3 team was deserving, and they had that going for years. And then the 4, they were like, okay, well, 5 and 6, they're more. They some years they were more deserved. They enjoyed that type of conversation. It gnawed at us because it's like, this is a flaw in the system. They were like, no, this is great because you're talking about us. Shoot. Now they have it to 12. And you're going to be hearing people say, this sucks. And you have the people in Indianapolis like, suckers. Then you got to have the deans of these schools and athletic directors of these schools, the big schools that matter, pressure the NCAA to say, look, these buys suck. Get rid of these buys. So the only way I think you could do it is to make this a 16-team tournament. There's not enough of them pushing for that yet. So 2 years, that is a very liberal number. I don't see that happening in 2 years.
2 years.
Because I think they're too stupid to do it in 2 years. I think they'll do it in maybe 10.
They too stupid to do it in 2 years too. That's my point.
Well, I mean, they're stupid, period, for actually selling on a number of 12. But I think I'll put it this way. The NCAA, there's a lot of Ryan Days who are in the NCAA rooms.
Oh, you finna remember that forever now. I shouldn't have said that. You finna remember that forever.
Yeah, there's a lot of Ryan Days in Indianapolis. And that's why I say it's going to take a minute for them to get this fixed to 16.
And it won't be fixed when they get to 16.
It'll be fixed enough when they get to 16. But yeah, it's going to be a minute to get to 16. They're going to be happy. They're going to be happy at 12 because they want to prove. Well, I know that the 4 teams had buys. They got their doors blown off. Well, except for Arizona State, but they all lost. The 4 teams that had buys, all those conference champions, they lost the next game they played. And like you said, they had some of them 3 to 4 weeks off. Yeah, I understand that. That could be problematic. But we're going to prove to you in 2025 that was a fluke. In 2026, in 2027, in 2028, that 2024 was a fluke. That's how they think, dummies. That's how they think. But I want to believe you, sir, that they actually have the sense that God gave a gnat to actually have a 16-team tournament starting in 2026. If they made enough money, it doesn't matter if it's more teams, more money for them. If they pocket enough and the right colleges pocket enough, we good. We gully. What's that? What's that? The kids say now? Oh yeah, NCAA they ate.
I might need to make a new segment that season. Cole Johnson versus the NCAA.
They're stupid. They're freaking stupid, man. I'm like, good Lord. Box for brains. I just don't understand it.
There should be a segment probably either twice a month or once a month. Cole Johnson versus the NCAA. What we got for today? Let you go.
And it's crazy, man. It's like I could pick anything at any time that just furthers the understanding of how inept in thought process the NCAA is. And I don't like to do it, but it's like, here's another reason. The transfer portal. Here's another reason. You chose 12 instead of 16 for a football tournament. But I get what they were trying to do. They were thinking that they were like the NFL. You know, the NFL is imperfect in terms of balance. You know, you have 14 teams in the tournament, which means you have 2 teams that have to go on a bye. That is imbalanced. And the teams that seem to have won these buys, they seem to be an advantage because they lick their wounds one week, they play a home game the next week. And this is what the NCAA is thinking. Oh, well, let's award these conference champions the 4 highest with a bye. It'll be just like the NFL. They get a bye, and then they'll basically will have a home game in a bowl. Except they can't play a bowl closest to them. Now I think they may fix that. You know, Oregon. Well, I mean, the closest they had was Oregon playing the Rose. That's the closest thing to a home field advantage they had actually for the top 4 seeds.
But all right, that would do it for this program on today. Thank y'all for watching. If you're watching live on the Playmakers Blog YouTube channel, the Playmakers Blog Facebook channel, or my personal LinkedIn, Cole Johnson yet again. Going to war with the NCAA, and I'm here for every single one of them. Oh, trust. I might have to make this a segment because I might have to make this a segment for next season.
Cole Johnson versus the NCAA. Lord.
Yep.
Oh Lord!
Might have to make that a segment because you can go at the NCAA in so many different ways. I just can sit back and just enjoy it.
I would love to have the faith that you seem to have for them. I just don't.
It's not me having faith. It's me knowing they being stupid. Like every reason that you put out there, it's the same reason I can say they're gonna do it in 2 years.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Either way, it's gonna be stupid.
See, that's the thing. They don't know they're stupid.
Either way,
they don't know they're stupid. That's the problem. If they knew they were stupid, this problem would be fixed. That problem would be fixed in 2 years. But they don't know they're stupid.
No, it'll look like it's fixed in 2 years, and then something else is gonna happen.
Because they think that God's gift to they think that God's gift to amateur athletics. No, they don't know. They don't know they're stupid. They don't know that they're full. They don't know they're full of Ryan Days. They don't know that.
I should never brought up what happened with him and Luka Holtz. You gonna? Jeez.
Oh, that gave me a nice bullet in the chamber. Actually, 2 bullets in the chamber. One for the NCAA and one for Ryan Day.
I didn't know you know how that actually started.
I thought it was a legit beef. I didn't know it was a skit that did it. And Holtz wasn't even involved in it. Goodness gracious. That makes it even funnier.
No, Luke Holtz was in the skit, but he wasn't the one saying the stuff. It was
that's what I'm saying. Lou Holtz himself was in the skit. I know Lou Holtz was represented, but I mean Lou Holtz didn't participate.
No, they both was there. So it was like you were looking at 2 Lou Holtz at the same time, like, wow, it's crazy. But it was Ty that was actually doing the trash talking about Ohio State.
Oh my gosh. See. Again.
Because come on, we seen Lou Holtz on ESPN before.
Yeah.
And Lou Holtz don't go off like that.
He really doesn't. I mean, he can be critical, but he doesn't really go off. And that's what makes it even funnier because I guess Ryan Day does not know Lou Holtz all that well. But, well, then again, we are dealing with a $1 body and a 5-cent brain with Ryan Day.
That would do it. And
you thought you did not want to stand another Ryan Day anything.
I don't. Anything that cripples Ohio State, I'm all in for. Ryan Day only cripples against Michigan.
That's the only problem so far.
He doesn't cripple against anybody else. This is the problem.
Well, hopefully that may change Monday night, but yeah, I agree.
But until then, I will be back next Wednesday to talk about whoever won that darn trophy.
Yeah, who gets to hold the golden cylinder?
This beautiful trophy right there.
Yeah, who gets to hold the golden cylinder? Will it be Marcus Freeman or will it be the Rocks for Brains? Ryan Day.
So we'll talk about it.
Tune in next Wednesday and you'll find out who is the national champion.
And why neither me or him was thrilled about it either way.
Sure ain't. And still won't.
We want to keep it a buck. That is Cole Johnson. I am the playmaker. We'll see you next Wednesday to close out the season.
And say you still a steakhouse. Dummies.